How's it going, peeps? Welcome back to Viva La Coin. I am Joe. I will be your host for today's episode, and I want to touch on a couple different pieces of information today. One, in our main story a little bit later, I'm going to be talking about Cardano and some of the pump action it's been seeing up to as high as $1.83, which, if you are not a meme coin shit poster, still is really important to you. But then, first off, I'm going to talk a little bit about the flash crash yesterday, Doge, Shib, and some of the things going on in the market. Because, again, if you come to me, I am very unbiased. If you're making your money in shitcoins, fuck, I threw my money into some, good for you. If you lose all your money in shitcoins, hey, you know what? That's the price of playing. Ultimately, I'm okay with it. But there's a certain line in the sand that I have drawn, and that is I do not want to see the people I know fucked over by shit in meme coins. And earlier today, I had a buddy of mine reach out, and one of his friends or family members reached out and said, hey man, I know you're into crypto. Here's an insider tip for you. Here, this one's for you. Get in before it's too late. He sent him a screenshot of fucking Shib, which is short for Shiba Inu, the same dog that Dogecoin is based off of. And Shiba Inu is a copycat meme shit coin made to really exemplify a joke version of Doge, which is also a joke. So it's like a joke compounded in a joke. And if I know mathematics correctly, that is a double negative, which makes a positive, which it's no longer a joke. It is just stupidity at its finest. Now, did I make money on it? Absolutely. All of those original shit coins, I had like 20, 30 bucks here, 100 bucks there, just sprinkled in because I assumed that this was going to happen. And I sold mine for thousands of dollars. I had people in my Telegram group that actually held it for a lot longer that are well in profit. I know the one guy swapped out his for like 100 BNB, which is a shit ton of money. If you know that BNB currently costs about $660. Anyone that was in it, anyone that was in this space prior to a couple months ago, killed it. Anyone entering now, if you're buying Doge, if you're buying Shib, you're going to get fucked. And that's just the honest truth of it. Comparatively, you will, over time, probably make money over the course of the rest of this year. Will Doge continue to pump? Well, yes, because the rest of the market will continue to pump. Anyone that thinks if Bitcoin collapse and Ethereum collapse and Cardano collapse, that Doge would continue to rise is out of their fucking mind, because that ripple of panic would then move to Doge and everyone would pull it from there. Plus, it is held up by billions of dollars of old crypto money that has not only been in it for years, but then piled in right before all these newcomers, and they're just waiting. They're waiting to dump it on you. Every time it gets up to 70 cents, they're all putting in shorts and they're making money off the dips. That's it. Every single person is leveraging new people's naivety to make money. Now, Shib, on the other hand, is a newer version of that shitcoin. And I'm going to show you a difference between a legitimate pump and dump and what's going on with these tokenomics. So let's go ahead and jump into this before I talk about Cardano and what's going on with them, just because I think it is important for anyone newer to crypto or those that watch this channel that know me in real life to differentiate where to put your money and why it's important. So yesterday, you can see in Bitcoin, this was right around 1 p.m. Around 2 p.m. We had a flash crash, and we dumped all the way from around 58,000 down to about 53.4. Some of that was triggered by whales selling off. Ethereum was way over leveraged. It was popping through the roof. So they wanted to rinse some of that over leveraged money out of the market. And that's understandable. We've seen it happen dozens of times, even over the course of the last 4 months in 2021. So if you are familiar with the market, or if you've been watching my channel, you were like, oh, okay, this is the time to buy when everything is down. Now, in the news, Elon Musk was on SNL talking about Dogecoin this weekend, and I had family members reach out and they were like, oh, are you going to watch it? And I said, absolutely not. Because one, you're bothering the most important, most intelligent man to ever exist that's trying to solve planetary, pollution and overpopulation and heating and space travel and interplanetary colonization. And you're bringing him on to SNL to talk about cryptocurrency as a joke, which really it is the underpinnings of the future of everything from the internet to finance to supply chain and everything in between. and no one in the audience is going to understand it. And then everyone in the fucking SEC is going to start looking at, well, is he manipulating the price of Dogecoin by going onto the show and talking about it? Does he own it? Is he going to sell Tesla for it? Those are problems that, even if they haven't necessarily directly arise from that one episode, I do not want to crack that door open. I do not want to invite those possibilities to the table, because this is bigger than Doge and it isn't a joke. However, he went on and everyone was saying, this is it, Doge is going to $1. And I put up a tweet and I told everyone, if you're thinking of buying Doge before SNL, don't. And I posted a GIF of that, or a GIF, whatever you want to say, of Obi-Wan Kenobi from Star Wars telling Anakin, like, don't try it, when he's trying to get the high ground, because he gets chopped to fucking bits. Well, of course, no one listens, and everyone goes in, tries to buy Doge, and it completely collapsed from 70 cents down to around 40 cents. And if we're looking at the overall price action, because most people that are in Doge just got in, we went from about 64 cents, 70 cents around that time, drop back down to around 50. And I'm going to make this a little bit smaller so I can get a little bit closer in there too. So yeah, we went from like 64 cents that night all the way down to yesterday we're sitting around 49 cents. So all those same people that were saying, oh, I bought the dip. Okay, well, you lost money buying it at 70 cents. You bought the dip at 49. It's going to dip again because people are going to continuously keep shorting it, because there is no value there right now compared to the other major cryptos in this space. Dogecoin is the 4th largest cryptocurrency on the planet right now, with a market cap of $64.1 billion. In the total circulating supply, so there are 129.5 billion Doge in existence. And that isn't even the max supply. More can be made. Right, and I saw someone make a cross comparison talking about Ethereum, right? There's no max number of Ethereum. Correct. Now, EIP 1559, that update that's coming in July, will make it so we burn some of that and make it more finite. But there is 116 million Ethereum. There's 129.5 billion Doge. Ethereum enables smart contracts, DeFi, NFTs, and billions of dollars in value. Doge enables none of that. So there is no comparison to be made here. It is just people FOMOing in because they saw, oh, if you had $1,000 of Doge in January, on January 1st, you would have $121,000 right now or something like that. Okay, but I promise you, if you buy $1,000 worth of Doge right now, you're not going to have $121,000 worth of Doge at the end of the year, because Dogecoin is not going to a $2 trillion market cap. It's not going to happen. You will not find that value. That money will not come in. That is a harsh truth. And although I am not a financial advisor, nor am I an oracle, and I'm definitely not a fucking wizard, I will tell you that $2 trillion is not coming into Doge unless the cryptocurrency space goes 20 times higher than it is right now. And even then, it would seem unlikely, because people would find projects with more value. So what do we do? Right? A couple people, we miss Doge. You know, they understand the tokenomics behind it, right? There's so many people already are in it. We need so many billions of dollars just to double our money, just to 2x. So let's look for a backup. Now, Shiba Inu is the breed of dog that Doge is, but it was another shitcoin, joke coin, that was made off of Doge, which was already a joke. And this one's actually been around a lot longer than some of those other ones that are jokes. It was put out last summer. And just recently, it popped up from around, I'm not even going to give that denomination, but it is like 2/100,000ths of a penny, all the way up to, I don't know, like 25 times its worth. Now, I owned like 200 million of them down at this level. I still don't have them. I sold them for a really good profit, and people that I talked to sold all the way up here for much more profit. So anyone that's going to make money in this has already made it. But the people that are buying in right now, they see, oh my God, people just made 100 times the amount of money they put in. I got to hurry up and get in. You're not hurrying to anything. This isn't new, right? So the market cap right now is already $12 billion. That means in the cryptocurrency space, Shiba Inu is already the 19th largest crypto in the world. But if we look at the total amount available, right, when we look at tokenomics and I say, hey, Bitcoin's valuable because if we look at how many are available, right, there's right now 18.7 million in total. And yes, they can break down to 100 million Satoshis per, but there are 21 million. There can only ever be 21 million. So Shiba Inu, that has absolutely no inherent value, that is also a joke coin, that is spliced off of a joke coin. It has 1 quadrillion total supply. And that isn't even max supply. There is no cap. So 1 quadrillion Shiba Inu exist. If that isn't absolutely absurd to you, I don't know what is. But I will tell you, even for Shib to go to $1, you would have a market cap of, like, right now, fucking hundreds of trillions of dollars. It is so absurd. So no, it's not going to $1. It's not going to 10 cents. It's not going to 1 cent. Maybe, 10 years from now, if crypto keeps going up and this doesn't completely implode on itself, sure. But right now, it's not going to. And if you put your money in expecting quick returns, every single person that was in crypto watching everyone pile in, they're absolutely going to pull that rug out from under you so hard that you're not going to be able to make anything. And then you're going to have to go and tell all your friends to buy it, and their friends will have to tell their friends to pump it back up. This sort of tokenomics is closer to a Ponzi scheme than it is a cryptocurrency, because it doesn't do anything. It doesn't validate any smart contracts. It doesn't support any decentralized finance. It's just what we call a classic pump and dump. So to that advice my friend was given by his friend or family member that said, hey, here's an insider tip, and you got to get in before it's too late. The newsflash, it's too late. So sorry, but that's the way that this shit goes. Now, am I saying that neither of these are going to continue to pump? Again, I'm going to repeat myself. No. They're probably going to go up, but I want you to understand that Shiba Inu is going to have to put another $12 billion in just for you to double your money. That's $12 billion, which means it would have to be a larger cryptocurrency at $24 billion than Chainlink, which is the oracle that supports the entire Ethereum network and many other cryptos. Uniswap, which along with Pancake is the largest decentralized exchange in the world. It would have the same market cap as Litecoin if Shiba Inu doubled. Now, I'm not a big fan of Litecoin, but you're going to have to find that money from somewhere. And if it comes from anywhere, where do you think it's coming from? It's spilling out at Doge, which is why Doge is down to 49 cents, $64 billion, because no legitimate person at this market cap is going to put their money in that understands crypto. It's going to be all the people that FOMO'd into Doge are going to pull it and put it into Shib. And as soon as Shib starts to stall, which it will because there isn't that much money to go into it comparatively, then someone's going to come out with Shiba Inu 2. And I saw like Australian Shepherd and Poodle and all these other fucking dog coins. If you want to chase that, that's fine. I might recommend it's a little bit less stressful to go to your local casino and play roulette. I think that that's also a great way to go. But still, the reason why I'm breaking this down, if you made profits, phenomenal. I made profits. That's great. I'm thrilled for you. I would not say that right now it is the responsible thing to do to put out a fucking TikTok and tell everyone how Shib's going to $10 or how Dogecoin is going to $10, because it's not. So keep those things in mind. If you're newer to the space, please don't make those mistakes. Take care of yourself. It was all over the place. Fucking Binance listed them. It really delegitimizes our space a bit. When Dogecoin, which is a joke, is the 4th largest crypto, and Shib is now, number 19. You have the largest banks in the world. Ethereum just passed the market cap at JP Morgan yesterday, and they're reluctantly starting to allow their clients to purchase cryptocurrency. And now everyone gets to look in for the day and see these fucking joke coins absorbing all this money. And they're like, you know what? Maybe we're good. So there is a certain extent to where this can be damaging. And I think we're getting there. But the market will always correct itself. And it will eat new traders alive in these coins before they're allowed to pump any further. So keep those things in mind. Now, the main thing I want to talk about today is Cardano. So and I know that my second largest position in crypto is ADA or Cardano. So ADA is their ticker. Cardano right now sitting at $1.76. Now, I was buying originally at the cheapest point, right around 2 cents, but the majority I purchased of mine was right around 30 cents after this first pump before we started running up. I wanted to take the time for them to gain some momentum. Charles Hoskins, that created Cardano, one of the co-founders of Ethereum, he wanted to make sure to take his time. Everything in Cardano is scientifically based. So it's not like Ethereum where we're putting the cart before the horse and then all of a sudden we have incredibly high gas fees, which if you weren't aware, Ethereum over the last 2 days, the gas fees have been out of control. I did a couple trades on Uniswap where I was paying $200 per swap. So that's $200 just to trade. People are bitching about $1.99 fee on fucking Coinbase. I'm paying $200 both ways to trade on a decentralized exchange for some of these currencies. So I get it. You know, fees aren't great, but it's the price to play. Now, for that though, Ethereum isn't scaled yet, which is why those fees are so high. And despite Polygon being added in those sidechain rollups and adding a lot of value there, we still need EIP 1559 come July to go through to speed that up and make it deflationary. And even then, I do not know if the volume will increase enough, along with Project Optimism, which is another ZK rollup, has to do with Cortesi and a bunch of other things, I believe, to handle that. So Cardano, they put the horse before the cart. They decentralized and staked their entire network, which Ethereum has yet to do, allowing the network to process many more transactions, already be fully decentralized and good to go. The main counter argument people have about Cardano is they don't have smart contracts or DeFi or NFTs like Ethereum does. But I would argue that for most people, it doesn't fucking matter if you can't afford to participate in any of that. And that's why you see many people running over to BNB right now and the Binance Smart Chain and Pancake Swap, swapping out all these meme and shit coins and even doing legitimate trading because the fees are pennies on the dollar. And even though Binance is far from decentralized, and most institutions would never view it as a viable replacement for Ethereum or a direct competitor, Cardano is once those smart contracts go live. So recently we saw some price action where we're finally starting to break out in the next leg of this bull run. And we were in this consolidation pattern all the way from right around $1.32. We broke down. We actually popped back up in the middle of March with Cardano's Coinbase listing. We actually wound up around that period mirroring old all-time highs from the last bull run, which was around $1.30, $1.40, depending on what exchange and what app you look at. But then we kind of got stuck there for a while. And that's okay because we had a ton of consolidation, a lot of weak hands, a lot of bored people leaving the space to go elsewhere. So we've really had a much more convicted, strong community that was getting their hands on Cardano. Now, right now, their market cap is $56 billion, which ironically is less than Doge, but you still have the, sixth largest crypto in the entire world that hasn't even put up smart contracts yet, that doesn't have a grayscale trust, that most VCs and venture capitalists, those people haven't invested in. This has solely been community driven, scientifically driven with the Cardano team and IOHK pushing it forward. And I covered the news stories where they are pairing with the Ministry of Education of Ethiopia to onboard 5 million students, 3,500 schools, like 750,000 teachers on an ID validation blockchain system. They're pairing with Tanzania for a mobile network all across their country. They have a memorandum of understanding with the country of Georgia. In the United States, they're partnering with the state of Wyoming to put things in place. And this is all pre-smart contracts. So I'm incredibly bullish on them. And when it comes down to the network and the staking, I'm going to show you an additional metric that I've always looked at, but I saw other people talking about it, and I think it's important to highlight as to why this is so good to hold. Because there's 31 billion, close to 32 billion currently circulating, and there's a total max supply of 45 billion, and it's hard capped. There can never be more. It doesn't need an update to become deflationary. There's just 45 billion in total. So of those 31 billion, where are they at? You know, how are they being used right now if they're not being tied up in DeFi or smart contracts? Well, let's take a look. So on Cardano right now, with a market cap of $56 billion, of that, 40 billion is staked. And all staking is, for those of you that may not have gone back or heard me talk about it, is as an individual, I stake Cardano. So I have a specific Cardano wallet, and I put my Cardano into a pool, right? And we generate the blocks on Cardano. And I pay a small percentage fee in order to produce those, like 1%, but I get 7% Cardano rewards on my staking. So every 5 days, I get, dozens of free Cardano just for staking that network along with the people in my pool. And then that helps to validate and push things through. Right now on Ethereum, nothing is staked. So the miners are collecting those fees to continue to push everything through in the interim. And the more congested the network gets, the more people have to pay. Well, Cardano, that wouldn't be the case because the network is like already 100% decentralized, but almost like 74% of all Cardano that is purchased and being held right now is tied up in staking, which means people aren't going to the exchange and selling it. People aren't day trading with it. It is tied up. So when you look at how many are already in circulation and bought and tied up into staking, there isn't a ton left out there. It's not like everyone's just sitting on it waiting for it to dump if it has a bad day. People believe in the network and they take part in it. So that's incredibly exciting for me. Now, on the other hand, Ethereum only has about $9 billion worth of Ethereum staked in ETH 2.0. And that was actually released on April 14th, but it was one of the newer stories in the metrics that I found. So they're saying that's an outstanding Q1. Now, for me, $9 billion worth of Ethereum, I think it comes out to be like 7, 8, 9% of the Ethereum network is staked. And part of the problem is if you go into stake Ethereum 2.0, and you can do that on various exchanges as well, such as Coinbase and Kraken, I believe also on Binance US for us individuals stuck in the dark ages in the US that have to use that as opposed to Binance. But when you stake it, your Ethereum is locked up until the completion of ETH 2.0, which is all of their updates that they're doing to the network. And that may not be done until 2022 or 2023. Now, I know that there are certain updates and protocols and things that they're doing that may allow you to unstake it at some point or give you like a mirrored asset in the interim. But right now, it's mostly been tied up. So they've been having issues slowing that down as well. But Cardano is already leaps and bounds ahead. All they got to do is go live with the smart contracts. Now, those smart contracts in their roadmap is the third phase, which this is all based on different scientific people from the past, but this is the Goguen phase. Now, videos and videos ago, I covered this, but I'm going to read it again. With the integration of smart contracts, the Goguen era represents a big step forward in capability for the Cardano network. Where the Shelley era, which was the previous one, Shelley, and that's where a lot of people started their staking. When the Shelley era decentralizes the core system, which just completed, we're 100% staked as of March 31st, which means the community is making the blocks. We are the ones pushing things forward. Goguen adds the ability to build decentralized applications on Cardano's solid foundation of peer-reviewed research and high-assurance development. The work for Goguen has been underway in parallel with Shelley, and when complete will allow users from technical and non-technical backgrounds to create, execute functional smart contracts on the Cardano network. And I actually watched a video breakdown of this, but one of the goals of Goguen has been the creation of Plutus, a purpose-built smart contract development language and execution platform using the functional program language Haskell. Plutus is already available for testing, and it brings benefits of functional programming to smart contract creation. And it's a tool that essentially allows people that may not even be hardcore software developers or coders to start to make smart contracts on the Cardano network. It's a very, very interesting breakdown. Now, what I'll say is their smart contracts, I believe, were supposed to come out in end of April, I believe. And they did have, according to the news, a major delay. But guess what? I'd rather have something that works, that we've waited 4 years for, than something that was rushed 1 month ahead of time that fucks everything up. So I'm okay with taking a little bit of additional time. But that upgrade that's coming that will allow those smart contracts on that on that Goguen stage is Alonso. So Alonso had a little bit of a delay, so it's not going to be in April, but I am still bullish nonetheless. But he said, we're delighted to report that the countdown, which signaled the full decentralization of the Cardano blockchain, has also been included in the latest implementation of Daedalus, which that is just their main node wallet. This marks a momentous milestone where all Cardano stake pools are operated by community-led stake pool operators. So that had to happen first before Alonso could go live and we could have smart contracts. It was delayed a little bit. I do not have a specific hardline date where it goes live. I do not know. I believe now people are saying either by the end of May or maybe like start of June, but it will be in time for summer. So at the end of the day, when we're looking at viable replacements or competitors, I think competitors is a better word for Ethereum. Cardano is still the number one play, and I believe that so many people wrote it off and so many people were so heavy into Ethereum that I wanted to take my bet with the science-backed side of things where Ethereum's geared towards big business and Visa is going to settle USDC payments in them, and Grayscale has a massive trust. Cardano just went straight to Africa, which is some of the most unbanked, needy people from a financial perspective in the world, to make an impact for them, both in education and in finance. And when I talk about it, am I here for the money or for the tech? Well, I'm here for it all. I'm here for financial freedom, not only for myself, but for anyone else that has ever been denied the ability to save, to participate in a financial system, to take care of themselves, to have access to those tools. And I think Cardano, if executed properly, will best meet those expectations. So ultimately, that's why I'm excited about them. And one last thing, if you do use Kraken, which is an exchange that I also use, and I stake some Polkadot and different stuff on there, but you can stake Cardano through the exchange, and there's a staking tab and you can go in and do it for those of you that use it. I do not typically stake anything on exchanges. I think it's a little bit risky. If an exchange gets hacked or attacked or maybe even lags out for a day, you're not going to be able to get in and get your stuff. So instead, I prefer to keep everything in hard wallets, cold storage, or away from anywhere where it could be at risk. But this analyst was also saying, oh, we're going to break $1.53 on May 6th. Yeah, great job. I see like analysts saying, oh, Ethereum just crossed 39 or 3,975. We think we're soon enough, we're going to break 4,000. Wow, great fucking prediction, Nostradamus. How'd you figure that one out? Those price predictions don't mean shit, but we are starting to gain a little bit more traction. So if you do want to stake, you can go to Kraken now and do that as well. Now for me, I was going to make a specific video about staking Cardano, but I feel like just getting people up to date with the project itself is more important. You can't stake it if you don't own it. And by no means am I like a hardcore technical programmer here. We're just a basic educational channel with no bullshit, insane predictions and garbage like that. So hopefully this is helpful. And then one final thing I wanted to show was I've been talking about C3 or Charlie 3, which is Cardano's first fully decentralized oracle. So since I first mentioned them in the What Did I Buy during the diff video, they are up close to 300%. So if anyone did listen to me or took that advice, congratulations on your gains. And if you think about it, people made 20% on Doge from 55 cents up to 74 cents. They were fucking ecstatic. Imagine making 300% in a week in a project that will continue to go up because you actually researched it. You understand what's going on. You know the importance of an oracle and the transition of information to and from blockchains. All of those tools are accessible to us. We can learn any of this that we want, and we can choose that. But if we want to jump from, pump and dump to pump and dump, that is on us. And when those chips fall and everything comes back and we can look at, did we make an impact in our lives so that we can go and live the way that we want to and we can impact others the way that we want to? I want to make sure that I'm in the best places possible in order to enable that to happen. And I can say right now, if I put $1,000 or even $10,000 into both Doge and Shib today, that I would have to plan on going to work in 2022. So all in all, take that with a grain of salt and make your own well-informed decisions. You know, I'm not a financial advisor, so you obviously got to do your own research. But as always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them down in the comments. Anything you want me to look into or answer for you there, I'm always happy to oblige. Aside from that, I am honored, as always, that you came and joined me on the channel to talk about the things that are going on in crypto, and I will catch you guys next time.